Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of Adastra with your host Fallenwolf. Ow! It has been such a long time since I have played Adastra. I believe the last stream we did was over a month ago. But we are getting back into the kick of things. I'm excited. Last time we left off, what happened? The last time we left off, the second trial happened. Amicus won somehow, even though he technically shouldn't have won. And it ended with our main character, Mark, got sick, and it seemed like they died. But now, when we last ended, the parents apparently brought us back from the dead. Either we were nearly dead or we actually died, and they brought us back from a disease we got that apparently affected us differently than the Adastrians. So, I'm curious to see where things are gonna go, because, like I said, it didn't end well, and I don't know how long. It wasn't stated how long we've been out for, which is worrisome. Have we been dead for? I'm sorry. Have we been dead for? I'm sorry. There we go. Have we been dead for days, weeks, months? How long are we talking that we were gone? Also, can everybody see the little chat, the live chat on the side well enough? Can you read it and everything? I had a lovely friend that actually helped me set it up. I've been trying to set it up, but they actually helped me set it up, make it transparent and everything. So, everything should be good for the stream. Of course, I went to go get a webcam, and of course the webcam that's been sitting there, nobody's been buying. I went to the store and it was out. So, gonna have to delay a little bit before you can actually see my pretty face. But that's okay. In the meantime, you'll just have to listen to my voice. But I just want to make sure everything's good. Everything looks okay. Everybody can read it. Again, I'm sorry about the buffering. That is not my fault. That is YouTube's fault. Because I've been hearing a lot of people having complaints about it. It is not my fault. YouTube is just being a pain in the butt. It is really hard to stream anything right now. Hopefully there shouldn't be any issues. We should be able to stream this well enough. I'm hoping that nothing comes up. But everybody can hear okay, right? Everybody can hear. The sound is good. Because I'm ready to play this. Like, I really am loving Adastra. And right now, there was a final update for Patreons, I heard. That is the final update. Like, at least this game is done. Adastra is finished. So, I don't believe the public version came out yet. So, I'm really trying to rush. I'm trying to avoid any spoilers. I want to get through this game. Very quickly. It amazes me how quickly this game was finished. Now, I did talk to some people. People did say it is also the fact that this game is a lot more linear. You don't have options and that stuff. So I guess it is a little bit easier for the writers, right? Because you're just focusing on one, with the choices being some slight deviations to dialogue. But at the end of the day, the story is the same no matter what. So I guess it does make it a little bit easier to write. But it's still amazing that it's been what, like a little over a year since this released, and it's done. Like, that's fast. Meanwhile, we have other games that we're still waiting on. Extracurricular activities is still being worked on, repeat. But also, again, the benefit of doubt with those is there's also multiple choice. Where this game has choices, but they don't really affect anything dialogue. But you know what? We've done enough talking. I know everybody did not come here for me. Everybody came here for Amicus and the story of Amicus and our main character, whose name is Mark. So, I guess we should get started, shouldn't we? Load. I believe it was, wow, look at this, March 19th. I have not touched this game since I streamed it. March 19th. So it's been over a month since we've played this. Since I played it. So just a quick little update. Please no, I'm sorry. Please no spoilers in the chat box. If you hints I'll let slide, but please don't ruin it. I haven't played this. I don't know anything about the story. I don't want to know. I want to discover this for myself, and I'm sure there are other people here. Sorry, and I'm sure there's other people here who want to see the story for themselves too. So please, no spoilers. Please, you can make insinuations about what's happening currently, but I don't want spoilers. I want this to be. I want us to all. We are all here. We are all here to have a good time. Yeah, sorry about that. It's just it again, Zachary. It's not my fault. Just the YouTube has been such a pain in the butt lately. You all know with the extracurricular activities, that's been a pain in the butt. I need to post that video. I have the video done. I just haven't posted it yet. But like I said, I'm sorry that it's being a pain in the butt. I am trying to get stuff done. YouTube, yeah. YouTube is being a real jerk. It's a shame. If I was smart enough, I really would make a furry YouTube site, but I'm not that smart. But anyway, I'm really excited. Like I said, this is very quickly, and then we can actually play. This is an amazing series because when I first started playing this, I didn't think too much of it. Now though, I really love it. I I think the biggest reason why so many people love Amicus is because he's not a perfect boy. He's not a perfect guy. He has a lot of flaws. He doesn't do the right thing, but he has a lot of flaws. And that makes a much more interesting character than somebody who's perfect. Like, we've all played visual novels, and we've played where the character's just so perfect, they can't do anything wrong, or they're so negative that it's like a parody. And Amicus is the right amount of, he has good traits and he has bad traits. And even to the point where some of his bad traits sometimes end up actually being good traits, depending on the situation. So, I really love Amicus. I really think I am still slightly disappointed the fact that you can't choose your romance option, but I feel like the writer, developers, etc., had an idea in mind when they were making this, and they knew what they wanted the story to be. So I give them credit for that, because this is actually one of the few visual novels I played where it's like an actual story. It's not like, oh, it's a choice based game. It's more like, all right, this is the story. This is what I want to explain. Five Nights at Freddy's. Being blunt, it's overrated. Now, when it first came out, I think the series was amazing. Honestly, after three, I think they should have ended. One was great. Two was really good. Two was good, but it was way too much you had to do. And three should have been the ending right there. I feel like it's overrated now. I feel like the creator trying too hard now. I just feel like the series should have ended. That's all. But let's get started. I've been talking so long. All right, here we go. Oh, here we go. This time, coming to feels real, and I immediately know I'm not in a dream. I smell lavender. Amicus? My eyes feel like they're glued shut, and I have to rub at them to get them to fully open. The first thing I see is the sky. The planet Amcius and the moon Tort, both of them glowing brightly. I stare at the two floating orbs for a while, waiting for things to fall into place as to why I'm out here. I'm laying on something hard like concrete, and I feel soft but weighty things on my chest. My hands are curled around it, and I lift it slowly to have a look, even though it feels like a 50-pound dumbbell. Flowers. Flowers with a fair bit of lavender mixed in. Slowly, I turn my head, and again, I get the feeling of heavy weights attached to my body. I somehow manage and immediately see that I'm in the amphitheater. At the same time, I see more flowers, and I realize that they're arranged all around me in a circle. Oh my gosh. We really died. Oh my gosh. So we really died, because this is apparently, we had a funeral. Our character, oh my gosh. What are the parents' objective? What are they trying to do? Why are we so important? So they literally brought us back from death. They brought us back from death for a reason. Moving my head around also makes me realize that there's something scratchy and prickly on my head. Still struggling with my heavy hand, I reach up and grab at it. I lift it from my head and hold it in front of my face, my eyes taking a few moments to focus to find out that it's a wreath, pink flowers woven into the twigs. I finally drop my arm to the side, getting too tired to hold it up, and I watch it lazily roll a few feet away. The movement sends a wave of tingling through my body, but it fades quickly. The heavy weakness is all starting to fade, but I'm more worried about how I got here and why I'm covered in flowers. From what I can tell, I'm in the gardens. Though, excuse me. Sorry, I'm just fixing something real quick. Like I said, streaming's not doing the best. I'm gonna do my best though. I really want to make sure all of us have a good time, so I will do my best. From what I can tell, I'm in the gardens, though a part of it I haven't been to before. I close my eyes trying to remember how I got here. Amicus, the trial rhetoric, the restaurant, being sick. Again, I lift my arm, though it's easier this time, and I look at the skin. It's covered in crusty, yellowish scabs, though they don't hurt. I don't know why, but I get the feeling that the skin underneath is completely healed. I try to think again. I do remember throwing up on Cassius, but after that, just terrible dreams. Did they heal me somehow? Is this flower thing part of that? I'm feeling some of my strength returning, so I force myself into a sitting position, joints popping and muscles stiff. Still, with every movement, things get easier. I do get lightheaded, though, and I have to sit there for a moment, looking around again, wondering where Amicus is. He'd sounded so desperate and sad the last I heard him. I need to show him that I'm okay now. At least, I think I am. I slowly push myself up, listening to the gunshot cracks of my knees as if I hadn't used them for days. I stand unsteadily in the center of the square, looking around at the circle of flowers. I'm startled when I turn and see a wolf behind me, but it's just a sculpture. A male wolf decked out in armor, both of his paws raised to the sky. He's got a bunch of flowers weaved around his wrists and on his head, too. I wait a few moments, listening for anyone that might be nearby. All I hear are the insects around me. So I start to move toward the path that I know leads to the palace. Although I'm pretty sure I'm not dreaming now, this eerie scenario has me questioning that. The whole situation is surreal. All of the things that I remember happening last feel so distant. Despite spending all of my time in Adastra trying to be covert, I find myself longing to find somebody, anyone really. I just need to know what's happened. And pretty soon, I do find someone. His back is to me, stooped over, fur almost ghostly in the glow of the garden lights. The cat busies himself with some flowers, a pair of metal clippers on his paws. As I get closer, I can hear him humming just above the noise of his busy snipping. I'm just opening my mouth when I see his ears perk. Cass, you know I don't like these games. Alex turns to face me, a knowing smile on his lips. That quickly disappears the second he sees me, though, replaced by a look of complete shock. Whatever he was trying to say doesn't seem to want to come out, and instead he just stands there gaping at me. Hey. I can barely talk, my voice rasping out like sandpaper on wood. I take a step forward, and that's when Alex finally reacts, jumping almost a foot into the air in a backwards motion, putting space between us as he yelps. What, how? He stutters and stumbles over his words. I've seen Alex flustered before, but never like this. There's real fear in his eyes as he stumbles against some bushes. I wonder if he's just going to take off running, but instead he stands there, quivering as he holds the clippers up in front of his chest as if contemplating using them as a weapon. I raise my hands reassuringly. Hey, Alex, it's me. I cough a few times trying to clear my throat. I see Alex's ears twitch at the sound as he slowly lowers the clippers, though he moves to the side away from the bush, giving himself a clear path to the palace. Mark, but how? He's staring at me like what he's seeing is impossible. How what? I'm regaining my voice slowly but surely. What's happening? Alex finally seems to get a hold of himself, fur slowly laying flat again as he eyes me, looking almost suspicious. I could ask you the same thing. This catches me off guard. Why? Well... Alex looks around before focusing on me again, tilting his head as if to look at me from a different angle. You were dead. Dead? Well, not completely, but you were in a coma that we were told you would not wake up from. Oh. Okay, so he wasn't technically dead. It was more... Okay, it was a coma. So he wasn't, like, dead. I look down at myself as if to confirm that I am indeed alive and well. Aside from the patchy scabs all over my arms and legs, I feel okay, aside from the grogginess. I thought the doctor healed me. Alex's ears perk. Doctor? I mean, I think there was a doctor. I heard him when I was brought back here. Alex's eyes narrow. Amicus told us you were vegetative before you arrived. How did you hear him? I don't know. I might have dreamed it. I was really out of it. If you were still conscious when he arrived, he should have been able to halt the damage caused by the virus. Who was the doctor? With every passing second, I regained more and more of my wits, and Alex's demeanor is confusing me. He thought I was dead, and instead of being happy, I feel like he's interrogating me. That's also when I realized something else. Wait, you all think I'm dead? Well, not me anymore, obviously. This is all very strange. How did you survive exactly? Now the cat is starting to annoy me, and I look past him towards the palace, the situation finally dawning on me. Where's Amicus? The cat is quiet for a moment, as if contemplating something, then quirks his head. I'm not sure. He's been here and there, though. I haven't seen him for at least a day. I walk past the cat towards the palace, realizing what sort of state the wolf might be in. Oh, Amicus! Oh no, he's probably so distressed right now because the last time we really talked to him, we fought and we sort of made up, and he's probably, but like we didn't really make up. He's probably so distressed right now. Where are you going? I'm very happy to see that you are well. This is all just very sudden and unexpected. I ignore Alex, not really in the mood to figure out why he's acting the way he is. He's making me feel like I'm still dreaming. So I walk quickly, and I'm relieved that he doesn't follow me. The wave of cool air that hits me as I enter the palace is a welcome feeling, and I find myself grateful to be back. Despite having apparently been here the whole time, it really feels like I've been away for weeks. What do you mean is the screen? Sorry, Zach. What do you mean screen? Oh. I see what you're talking about. It's like Frozen. Shit. How far back do we go? How far back do we go? Hold on. Alright, hold on, everyone. Sorry. I can't really deal with this with YouTube right now because I see what everybody's talking about. I kind of like froze. Why is it doing this? Because I'm really I want to do this today because I'm actually having fun. I'm actually enjoying doing this. It's a good day. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. I'm trying to figure out why it's like frozen. Okay, so it's supposed to be. Ew. Wait, Adastra. Wolf aliens. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Maybe that'll help a little bit. Okay, can everybody... No, is it working any better now, anyone? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what's happening. I shut it off and turned... I shut the layer on and back on. It should be working now. Okay, where did we leave off? Do we... Alright, I think I got to work. Where did we leave off? Do we need me to go back to the part... Oh, crap, I can't go all the way back. The gameplay. Yeah. I know what you meant, Zach. Just trying to see why it's acting up. Why is it frozen like that? Yeah, I see. It's like frozen. It's like frozen. And I don't know why. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to fix this without restarting the whole stream over. Okay, like on my end. Here we go. Okay. Did everybody hear the stuff okay? Can I go back to where I left off at, or do we need me to restart? I will let you guys choose. If you really want me to restart the dialogue, I will. Sorry, I'm skipping all this. Oh. Okay. I think we got it. Okay. Sorry about that. Hopefully you heard the dialogue. Okay. I told you it's not completely my computer's fault. Like a lot of it is YouTube. I don't YouTube's lately been really sucking, and it's not just me because like I follow, like I said, I love Loki Cookie stuff, and he's been having issues too. So okay. The wave of cool air that hits me as I enter the palace is a welcome feeling, and I find myself grateful to be back. Despite having apparently been here the whole time, it really does feel like I've been away for weeks. I pick up the pace as I head towards Amicus's room, practically jogging. I have to let him know that I'm okay. Zach, I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. The short distance to his room seems like it takes longer than it ever has before, and I'm glad that I don't run into anyone else on the way. I'm trying. I don't know how to really fix it. There's really nothing I can do. Like I said, it's on YouTube's end. Like I said, I'm trying my best. As trying to. I don't know why it's still so delayed. That interaction with Alex was weird, and I don't need a repeat of that right now. I finally make it to his door, and I immediately hear muffled chattering behind it. I don't hesitate, though, and I press my hand to the panel. The door slides open, and instead of the usual blast of even colder air I would often get from Amicus's room, it's stuffy, warm, and the smell a little bit musky. The lights are dimmed, and my heart sinks when I see the empty bed. I linger in the doorway, though, feeling off. Maybe it's the... I might let the chat delay. I might hide the chat thing because I don't know why, but it's never been this bad before. This is really bad. Like this delay is bad. I'm wondering if it's the chat. I keep saying not enough video, but I mean I really hate this because I actually wanted to play this today, and it's looking like I might have to delay it. I don't know why the frames are dry. Yeah, I'm gonna take the chat delay off. Sorry, Zach. I know you tried, but I want to see if it's gonna work if I take it away. Oh no! I want to take that off. I just want to see what happens if I take it off. I want to see if it goes any better. Oh, the chat delay in game. I'm trying. Because like I said, if it's too bad, I'm gonna have to cancel this today and do it another day. Because I mean, it's really bad. Like I can see it. It's pretty bad. It is not doing good. Well, I took the browser thing off just in case. Sorry about that. Because I don't know why it's going so slow. I've never had it go this bad before. Like this is really bad. Let me check something real quick. Wow. Trying to like make sure all the stuff is turned off. I mean this is terrible right now. Oh. Maybe that'll help. Okay, I shut something off, so maybe that'll help a little bit. The droning chatter is calm, giving what sounds like a monologue on the history of some past emperor. I see wine bottles too, mostly bunched together on top of the bedside table, but there are also a few lying here and there on the floor. Amicus? I call out, starting to become afraid of what I might find. Oh no, is he dead? Oh, please tell me he didn't. Oh, I really hope Amicus isn't dead. Yeah, I mean it's fine. It's just frustrating. Yeah, Sergeant, it's just frustrating because I'm really trying to do this, and I actually was in a really good mood to stream today, and now this is just frustrating me because it's like I'm having too many issues with YouTube, and I really don't have a choice but to use YouTube. I don't really have any other site I could just use for this, so I'm trying to stay calm. I take a few tentative steps into the room, then I hear a loud snoring instantly. The worry gripping my chest starts to release. I'd recognize that sound anywhere. I hurry over to the other side of the bed where I find my wolf splayed out onto the floor, a wine bottle next to his head, only in his underwear. He's clearly asleep or passed out, muzzle hanging wide open as another thunderous snore shakes the floor. Amicus! I crouch down next to him, resting a hand on his chest, trying to shake him awake. His only response is a few more broken snorts before drooling out the side of his muzzle. Oh my gosh. What is going on? It is really delayed. Oh man, if I have to I hate if I can't do this today. I'm gonna try a little bit more. If the quality is too bad, like I'm gonna do another stream like tomorrow or Thursday. I'm gonna keep going, but because I mean I'm just looking at drop frames and it's bad. Like it's showing me like a lot of frames are getting dropped, and I don't know why. Like there's nothing else playing besides this. I don't know why the frame rate is so bad right now. And I don't know what else to do to fix it. Hold on, let me try a trick real quick. I'm gonna reconnect. It's really fucking bad. Like, that's really bad. Let's do a stream. Fucking. I don't know, and like I know OBS is not good. I don't think so. I really don't think OBS is that good, but it's usually not this bad. This is just everything is not working. It is not working at all. Okay, all right. Let's try it now. Let's see if it works a little better. I switched to patting at his face and grabbing his muzzle and shaking it around, noticing how crusty the fur is. Something I've never felt on Amicus before. Amicus! I consider slapping him like I've seen people do in the movies. Then I see the bottle next to his head and decide to go for another approach. Sorry, I'm just trying to do my best to see if I can. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going. If it stays too bad for too long, I'm gonna have to cancel the stream. I snatch it up and hurry to the bathroom. I hold the bottle under the faucet for a good 5 seconds, letting it fill up with soapy water to the halfway point before I hurry back out into the room. Meanwhile, Com doesn't seem to notice me, droning on about how this particular emperor was known for having a fondness of orchids. I crouch down next to Amicus again, hesitating for a second as I wonder if maybe I should call Cato. Probably not Cato. Neferu, maybe? Just in case Amicus is actually in trouble. I don't know how much a wolf can drink before it can kill them, but the sheer amount of bottles lying around the room worries me. I decide to just go ahead with my plan, and I upend the bottle over Amicus's face. It pours directly onto his nose, and he immediately chokes, turning his head this way and that to avoid the stream of bubbly water. I have a moment to wonder if drowning him is the best approach before he suddenly sits up, pawing at his face. Gah! I'm sorry. Oh man, I almost forgot his voice. Oh, Gah! The wolf covers his eyes, and it's only then that I realize how irritating the soap might be for them. Shit, sorry. Should I go get some water from the shower so you can rinse your eyes out? Amicus freezes, still covering his face, then slowly lowers his paws to reveal his blurry, bloodshot eyes. He stares at me in a way that he never has before. It's kind of surprised like Alex had been, but rather than fear, Amicus simply looks empty, numb. Are you okay? I reach out, but Amicus turns his head away. Away with you, ghost, enough of your... Away with you, ghost, enough of your torment. He keeps his head turned away, eyes closed. Ghost, Amicus, it's me. I reach out and grab his face, and that seemed to shock him as he jumps and turns to look me right in the eye. I can tell that he's drunk, very drunk, but there's an extra distant look in his eyes that I don't like. Amicus, what are you on? Did you take something? I hold his big head steady, feeling the fullness of his cheeks in my hands, looking into his familiar eyes, no matter how glazed and unfocused they are. Then I find myself throwing my arms around his neck and leaning into his body, the reality of this situation crashing down on me all at once. Amicus gasps into my ear as if my touch suddenly makes him realize that I'm real, that I'm here. Clumsily, he starts to stand up, pulling me up with him. It's difficult because I don't let go, almost getting lifted off my feet before I settle and letting go for just a moment to hug him lower, around his body, pressing my head to his chest, hearing his heart hammering inside. Finally, he's able to get a grip on me and push me away despite my intention to cling to him forever. He holds me at arm's length, staring at me. I clutch his paws on my shoulders, staring up at him, feeling my eyes start to water. Is this possible? No, please, I can't handle another hallucination. His expression keeps morphing from hope and awe to devastation. Amicus, oh, it's me, Amicus. We're here. We're here, Amicus. Oh. Oh. I feel his paws grip into my shoulders tightly, almost painfully, as if to make sure I'm real. Sorry, everyone. Trying to check something. Okay. It's gonna look really weird, guys, but trust me for just a moment. Okay. Let's see if that helps. Let me see if that helps at all. There we go. It's me. I woke up in the garden for some reason. I'm okay. I want to hug him again, but he keeps holding me away, looking me up and down, pushing my hair back and feeling my crusty skin. But how? I don't know. I just remember having crazy dreams that I was in the garden. As I'm talking, I think Amicus is finally believing it's me, and I notice that his body starts to sway in a worrying manner. Amicus? I reach out to study him, but as I do, his eyes roll back, and I realize there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to keep a wolf over twice my weight from toppling over. I try anyway, wrapping my arms around him as Amicus falls backward, his bulk pulling me down with him before he falls back first onto the bedside table, sending bottles flying while his upward back and head smashes into the wall. My fall is absorbed by his much softer front, but the sound is loud, the room shaking and probably waking up the entire palace. Waking the wolf up the second time is a lot easier, probably because he fainted rather than passed out from too much wine. We're at least able to move onto the bed where Amicus sits cross-like, pulling me onto his lap and just holding me there, his paws moving around my body, still trying to make sure I'm real. For a moment, we don't talk, the wolf just pressing his nose to my hair and breathing in deeply. I feel a little self-conscious, knowing I must not smell very good right now, but that doesn't seem to bother Amicus as he goes on pressing his nose to my head and neck, taking in my scent. Finally, he does speak, but it's one word. How? I turned my head toward the wolf, resting my cheek against his neck. I don't know. I don't really even know what happened to me. You got sick, so sick you were having convulsions, brain and nerve damage. It was terrible. Amicus' arms tightened around me, his voice normally deep and strong now sounding weak and broken. The statement worries me, though, and I have to wonder if I really am better. There seems to be patches missing from my memory, and I do feel different, like I'm not fully myself, but I don't really want to think about it right now. I think I remember a little bit of that. I lifted my arm up, showing Amicus the shiny, crusty scabs on my arm. It was aviopox. I can't believe I didn't consider the possibility of disease and illness for you. I'm just used to the idea of any new arrival in Adastra going through that process. Obviously, we did it a bit differently. Yeah. And honestly, I'm not even sure I'd have you do it. I don't know if you'd react differently to the vaccinations. Each species has their own customized cocktail. And aviopox isn't included in the vaccination set. It's such a mild virus, we've never seen anyone react to it the way you did, even other primates. I think back to how quickly I became sick, how quickly I almost died. I noticed Amicus looking down at me again, and I looked back up at him. What? Amicus shakes his head. I'm just still trying to make sure you're here, that you're real. I'm afraid if I let go, if I even look away, you'll disappear. His arms tighten around me again, squeezing a huff of breath out of me. I'm here, I promise. Well, I had a lot of hallucinations. Too many stress tablets, I think. Stress tablets? Yes, quite a few of them, in fact. With wine? Oh, yes. Amicus! I don't really know what these stress tablets are, but I imagine mixing space Xanax with alcohol is a horrible idea. Amicus doesn't seem bothered by my reprimand, though, instead just snuggling closer to me, his crusted face fur prickly against my skin. I love you, Mark. I get that familiar swooping feeling in my chest like I'm on a roller coaster. Echo or Password, I have thought about playing them. Password I heard really good thing. Passwords I've heard really good things about, and Echo I have too. I just haven't had a chance to play them. I have thought about it. I'm not sure which one. Which one would you would everyone love to see me play first though? Both of them looked really good. I've only seen really snippets because, like I said, I try very hard when I play a new game. I try very hard when I play a new game to make sure that I don't ruin too much of it for myself. So I haven't seen too much, but I've seen enough. Password looked very interesting, murder mystery, and Echo is I know horror, and focused heavily on the horror aspect. So, like I said, and I'm also really sorry about the stuff. I'm really trying to see what's wrong. I can't figure out what's wrong. I really think it's just that YouTube is being terrible right now. Because everything is so much... I know everything's delayed for all of you, and I'm really sorry that everything's delayed for everybody. I really am. I clutched onto his arms. I love you too. Amicus sighs and sets his chin on my head. I thought I missed the opportunity to say it. I still can't believe you're real. Well, I am. I promise. But I still don't understand how. This shouldn't be possible. You were declared to be in a permanent coma. No brain activity. I had to set you out in the garden and only hope for a miracle. Miracle? Amicus lets out a shaky sigh, running his fingers through my hair. When a sapient falls into such a state, we simply let them fade away in a peaceful setting, or possibly recover if the parents allows it. I sat out there for a while, but couldn't bear to see you waste away, so I came back to my room to drink and prepare for the Empire ship. I imagine Amicus lying those flowers from me, and I feel my heart break a little. Did the parents come to you? Is that why you're here? I had hoped that they would. I shrug. I really can't remember much. It does not matter. My prayers were answered. Praise the gods. Amicus starts to smother me again with his hugging. Little bits of imagery from my dreams are starting to come back to me. Something that happened in space, someone talking to me. And judging by the only human I know, your people are full of surprises, but we can figure it out later. I hold you right now. Okay, okay. And Mark? Yeah? Please try to avoid mentioning that I lost consciousness when I saw you. Of course. So we sit there for a while longer while Amicus just sort of cuddles with me. After about an hour, we finally decide to move to the shower, considering the state we're both in. We shower together, taking turns scrubbing each other. The hot water really brings life back into my limbs, and those worrying tingles have faded to the point where I'm barely noticing them now. I am going to try something really quick. I just want to see something. I want to... Okay. Ew. Alright, let's, I don't think I saved either. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, we are really having some technical difficulties today, everyone. I'm gonna have to skip through some dialogue real quick. Let's try that again. Load. Skip. Let's try this again. This is still going pretty slow. The hot water really brings life back into my limbs, and those worrying tingles have faded to the point where I'm barely noticing them now. Amicus gently rubs up my crusted skin, and we're both surprised to see... Amicus gently rubs up my crusted skin, and we're both surprised to see it come away, exposing new, unblemished skin underneath. Oh, God. Oh. Where's the naughty cover at? Oh. Alright, time to block that. There we go. Incredible, I never knew humans healed at such a rate. Yeah, I don't know if that's really the case, and my mind continues to wander back to those vague, hard-to-remember dreams I was having. Meanwhile, Amicus leans back against the wall as I rub soapwood to his front, smiling gently as I lather up his chest. I can tell he's still fairly drunk, but that doesn't stop his cock from becoming fully erect between us, which I just pretend not to notice. His eyes widen as if he suddenly realizes something. Wait, did anyone else notice you? I pause, both my hands cupping his sizable pecs. Yeah, actually, Alex was in the garden and I talked to him. Just Alex? Yeah. Amicus seems to relax a bit. What did he say? He just seemed really surprised. Unsurprising. But he was acting a little weird. Amicus shrugs. He keeps things to himself for the most part. I'd be worried if you ran into Cato or Cassius especially. I need to think of a way to explain this to them. The simian guise is becoming harder to keep up. I'm about to mention more about Alex's demeanor, but that's when Amicus just starts hugging me again, his dick hot and firm, crushing between us as he does. I don't care, though. Oh, gosh. I don't care, though, and Amicus doesn't seem to either. I don't understand any of this right now, but as long as it's real, I don't care. It feels so good like this. His wet fur slicked down tightly to his thick body, which presses against me perfectly. Amicus finally shuts off the water and we're blasted with hot air. Okay, I think we're done with this, so... I'm dried in less than a minute and I stumble out to try and fix my poofy hair in the mirror while Amicus stands in the shower stall for a little while longer. After another few minutes, I watch him step out and come up behind me to nuzzle my ears, embracing me once again. He really can't keep his paws off of me, but I completely understand why. He starts nudging me out into the bedroom before turning me around to face him, lowering his face to mine, and I finally realize where this is going. Oh my gosh. It feels so sudden, especially after everything that's happened. I think we could use more time to adjust, but I kiss back anyway. We've kissed a few times before, but only with our lips. Now his tongue presses against my mouth, and I only hesitate for a moment before letting it in, his thinner, longer tongue caressing mine with surprising nimble strength. I thought it would be kind of hard to make out with the way his muzzle is shaped, but Amicus makes it happen, his lips clamping around my mouth as he kisses deeper. I'm amazed at how bold he's being, and I wonder if maybe it's because he's still pretty inebriated. He cradles my head gently, walking me backwards slowly, his cock poking against my groin and thighs occasionally until I come against the bed. Gently, he lowers me down to rest on my back, both paws coming to press on either side of my shoulders while he looms over me, grinning before he pauses. Oh, gotta bring back the thingy. Sorry, guys. This is YouTube is PG-13, so I gotta do this. Is this okay? I think. I mean, are you okay? We can wait until tomorrow when you're less drunk. He grins again. I've been wanting to do this for so long, to show you how much I love you. Okay, there we go. I reach out and feel the wolf's chest and belly while he speaks, again marveling at how powerful it all is. Amicus chuckles and arches out a bit to give me a better feel, taking deep breaths and puffing out his chest. He shudders as I rub at his nipples, the nubs of flesh hardening instantly. So now that you're comfortable... Tentatively, Amicus reaches down with his left paw and carefully lifts my length from my stomach to press against his. Oh. This time I let out a little gasp, being squeezed together like this, sending a jolt of pleasure up from my dick through my body and into my brain. Immediately, my skin breaks out into goosebumps as I shiver to Amicus's touch, his gentle but all-enveloping paw feeling so good right now. He starts off slowly at first, beginning to jerk us both off in small, quick motions. I can tell that he's being overly careful with me, so I jerk my hips up against him, encouraging him more. He seems to get the hint and he picks up speed, giving the two of us deeper, faster strokes that makes me grip at the bed sheets on either side of me, staring at the ceiling as I let out soft pants and groans. Amicus gets more and more into it, already leaking all over my own dick as he pumps his paw, bicep bulging with the effort. I've been jerked off by others before, but Amicus's paw really is something else. Of course it's big, but the soft, squishy pads on his palm and fingers add to the pleasure, giving me a texture I've never felt before. Oh, they're finally getting to do something. Oh, we finally got to see. I mean, it's not exactly what we wanted, but it's close enough, right? See what I mean? Like, this is so nice. Amicus is so nice to the MC. Like, they get along so well. This is really good storytelling, because it started off where it's like, man, these two will never get along, and it just goes from that to like they like literally love each other. The wolf starts to thrust his powerful hips into the stroking, making the bed squeak and shake. Again, his strength is evident in how he practically moves my entire body with each thrust, the idea that he's holding back turning me on even more. I feel his heavy sack bouncing on top of mine. My knees jerk up with each thrust, and each time they do, I feel his large rear end slam up against them, its furry form tight and clutched. I'm getting close. He pants out over my head. He pants out over my head, a drop of drool dripping down onto my cheek. I start to thrust up against him in earnest, wanting to match his climax. At this point, we're almost bouncing on the bed with how hard the wolf is humping against me, forgetting his strength in the moment. I don't mind, though, not really caring how sore I'm going to be tomorrow as the pleasure overtakes me. It hits me all at once, and I reach up to put a hand against his face, letting him know when he takes that as a signal to let go as well. I feel it in his entire body, the wolf tensing up, muscles tightening, standing out through the fur on his thighs, stomach, and chest. I see his face then as he bounces on the edge of climax, eyes wide and looking toward the ceiling, mouth hanging open, a look of pure awe. I feel it in his cock too, and at the same time we're both pushing the edge. Oh. 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 Oh my goodness. They did it. They did it. Well, that just happened. That just happened. Wow. I groaned, something I don't usually do, but the build-up, the situation, the feeling is all too much. It's drowned out by the sound that Amicus makes, though. He practically sags over me, laying out a bassy, rumbling moan of ecstasy. Oh, sorry to hear, Sergeant. It's 3 a.m. I'm glad that you're stopping by my stream, though. That's very heartwarming to hear that it is 3 a.m. for you and you stopped by my stream. So thank you for stopping by. Hopefully it'll be worth it, right? Hopefully it'll be worth it for this lovable wolf. Hearing the masculine, deep voice making a sound of such pleasure spurs on another spasm from my cock. I think the same happens to Amicus because he suddenly hunches forward again, muzzle right next to my ear as he groans out again, his hot rush of breath on the side of my face making me shudder. The big wolf continues to thrust against me, in time with the spurts from his cock. The look at his face now one of goofy pleasure, his long tongue drooping out, dripping onto my chest. His climax goes on for several seconds longer than mine, and I watch these spurts over my stomach over and over, till finally he collapses down against me, his fur damp with sweat. I wrap my arms around him as he heaves for breath, feeling his body expand and contract against mine. He nuzzles against my head, his stomach flattening against mine, against the mess we've made. We're gonna have to take another shower. Oh my gosh, that was so nice. Oh, I hope there's more. I hope there's more scenes like that. Oh, we finally had the scene. It wasn't exactly sexual intercourse, but it was close. It was close, and I think we can. I think we can take this away. I'm going to move it. Oh, I'm going to move it out the way. Hopefully, we can take it away. Even though I'm a bit out of breath, I'm kind of amazed at how much Amicus is gasping. Sounded like he just ran a marathon. He really put everything into that. You. I hold his head against mine, turning to kiss him on the cheek. Me? You are incredible. Thanks, you're really something too. Good something? A very good something. We lay there quietly for a moment, Amicus propping himself up a bit on his knees and elbows so his entire weight doesn't rest on top of mine. Yes, I really am enjoying the CG. I really liked it a lot. Sorry that I can't uncensor it, but like I said, you know how it is, everyone. It's YouTube. I can't really uncensor stuff. How's the audio? Is everything okay? I'm sorry if the voices are not as sorry about the voices if they're not too well. I'm trying. You know how it is. You know how it is for me. How are your legs? Burning, probably the most intense exercise my thighs have ever been through, but it was worth it. Again, we lay there quietly as Amicus just sort of strokes my hair. I'm still terrified that this is a dream. I hug him more tightly to my body, almost forcing him to fall on top of me. I'm here, and I'll be here in the morning when you wake up. You'd better, otherwise I'll never forgive you. His speech slurs a bit as he whispers into my ear. I look at him. So exactly how drunk are you? The wolf shrugs, slowly rolling off of me, cold air hitting the fluids on my stomach. Oh shit. Every time I'm like, I think I'm done, then it's like, the freaking thing comes out of nowhere. Can we put some clothes back on? I love the scene, but can we put the clothes back on, please? I gotta keep blocking stuff. I'm fairly sober now. Shall we wash up? He reaches out a paw and I take it. Slightly surprised as he pulls me up to be carried in his arms like I'm his new bride. We go to the shower and wash up again, even more slowly than we did the first time. When we come back to the bed, Amicus continues to dot over me, hardly ever letting me go at any point. I can tell that he's legitimately worried that this isn't real, and I feel the same way. After everything that's happened, this doesn't seem possible. Eventually, I lie in the bed next to him and he spoons me tightly against his body. He's extremely warm, but with no blankets and the cold air drifting down on top of us, it's perfect. Pretty soon I'm drifting off to sleep, listening to the wolf's soft snores in my ear. Thankfully, I don't dream. Get up! I jump at the same time I feel Amicus jolt against me. We both struggle to sit up while pulling the covers up around us. Oh, fuck! Oh, fuck! Oh, shit! Oh, this is not gonna be good. Oh, this is not gonna be... Oh, my God, it's not gonna be good. This is not gonna be good. Oh, boy. Oh, he just caught us in bed with the potential emperor, and we're supposed to be a pet. Oh, this is not good. Well, there's not really any in-game audio, Sergeant S-Dog. Pretty much just a little bit of music here and there once in a while. Oh, this is not good. Out of the bed. The jarring appearance of Cato has me staring at him in surprise, unsure of what to do. Amicus immediately moves, though, pulling me off the bed with him standing slightly in front of me as he hands me the blanket to cover myself up. We both stare at Cato, the old wolf actually shaking with fury. Make yourself decent, Amicus. Amicus hurriedly snatches up underwear from the dresser, giving me one of my own as well. As I'm struggling to tie my own, Cassie is standing in the doorway, something shiny and flashing with lights in his paw. He doesn't have the usual sour look on his face, though. Instead, he almost looks scared. Cato lets us stand in silence for a moment before turning his head toward the door. Felix, enter! I hear shuffling around out in the hallway, and Cassius moves to the side to allow a neatly robed wolf to enter. He looks about as old as Cato, though nowhere near as big. He moves timidly, looking about with his ears down. Yes, your Imperial Majesty. Is that the alien for avian pox? Cato jerks his head at me, keeping his eyes on Felix. Felix turns to look at me, and I can tell he's trying to think of the right thing to say. Finally, he just gulps and nods his head. Yes, I treated him 3 nights ago for avian pox. And his species had no profile. No, I could only tell that he was a primate. How was he conscious? Cease struggling, Amicus. He will not be harmed if you do as I say. Amicus seems to calm down a bit at that, panting wetly against the floor as he looks straight at me, face full of desperation. You've proven yourself to be an incompetent fool, even more so than I originally thought. You injured our entire empire. For this, you will not become emperor. Rules be damned. It's a wonder how you thought you'd get away with this. It can only be a miracle that the monitors have not found out, and they surely would if you become emperor with that thing. Cato stands and wrenches Amicus to his feet, twisting the other wolf's paws behind his back, hard enough that Amicus lets out a bark of pain. The 3rd trial begins today. You will lose, and Cassius will become emperor. Cato begins to push Amicus to the doorway. Do as I say, and I will let the alien live. Otherwise, we can do all of this in the most unpleasant way possible. Understand? Amicus is quiet until Cato shakes him by his pinned arms. Yes! Good, now to the amphitheater. We will do this quickly. Do not make any stupid moves, otherwise I will let the drones escort you instead. Cato presses Amicus towards the door. I see Amicus glance back at me, the look on his face one of utter helplessness. They're out the door by the time Cassius realizes he's supposed to be following. He jumps me after them. It's already sunset when we get to the amphitheater. We must have slept for most of the day. Amicus and Cato were already standing in the center of the amphitheater as Cassius struggles to move me down the steps. Sit him down, Cassius, and get down here. Shakily, Cassius plants me down on one of the stone steps before suddenly undressing. That's when I notice that he's tucked the Nervo in his waistband. Possibly because of the frantic nature of the whole situation, Cassie seems to have forgotten it, and I watch it fall in his clothing as he drops it from his waist. He then stumbles his way down to the center. Amicus, meanwhile, stands stiffly next to Cato, his paws clutched, and I feel my heart sink as I see the look on his face. He has no idea what to do. Several camera drones had followed us to the amphitheater, their lights glowing an ominous red. For several moments, Cato watches them arrange themselves around the small theater, their lights flashing in the fading light. Oh my god, so fucking Cato, man. Fucking Cato is the villain. Cato? Cato? What, Cassius? There was no trial scheduled for today. How will this be broadcast anywhere? This will not be live. I'll think of a reason to tell the people later. We only need a single clip of you being victorious. They will never believe this. Though Amicus is putting on a brave face, I can hear his voice shaking. Pingu Nu is a combination of skill and luck, and it's not always the strongest that wins. We will manage. And how? Cato suddenly whirls on Amicus, throwing a punch so hard into his jaw that the other wolf spins almost 360 degrees before collapsing on the hard floor of the amphitheater. I'm standing up without even remembering doing so, heart hammering my throat as I look down at Amicus. He doesn't move. Meanwhile, Cato shakes his paw lightly like it only stung a little bit. Cassius, on the other hand, is collapsing both ears in his paws, staring down at his brother in a mix of shock and horror. Cato, what are you doing? Making it look more authentic is all. Amicus stirs on the ground, then groaning and pushing himself up. I see dark spots forming under his face, blood dripping from his nose. A camera drone droops down slowly, filming Amicus as he spits blood. I realize then that I have to do something. I've been told to sit on the sidelines for far too long, and I'm not entirely convinced that I'm going to be okay after this. I'm a risk to the entire Empire. Why would Cato let me live after I'm done being useful? I have to do something. So I quietly sit back down over to reach into Cassius's pile of clothes, quickly finding the nervo and pulling it out. Then I stand back up again and take a step downward, and no one seems to notice. Come on, Amicus, get up. You need to grapple with Cass. Why didn't we just use makeup instead? There is no time. Cato finally bends down to grab Amicus under the arms and heave him up to his feet, the big wolf left to stumble unsteadily, blood running down his chin. Cassius, get Amicus in an ankle lock and drop him. That should be enough. They set up their scene, even though Amicus seems almost completely out of it. All of them are distracted, and I realize that this might be my only chance. Slowly, I take one step at a time, down toward the center of the amphitheater. Meanwhile, Cassius is... Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Meanwhile, Cassius is struggling to pick up Amicus' leg, almost losing his own balance as he does. After that, Cato tells Amicus to fall back, which the wolf does, slowly. Cassius pins him on the ground after that, and I don't think it looks convincing at all. But that doesn't really matter now, as I'm only a few steps from the ground floor. Now stand and raise your paws in victory, Cass. Look proud. At this moment, things start to move in slow motion. Amicus is flat on his back, but he's looking right at me. There's a questioning look in his eyes, then a pleading one, as if urging me to step back. I don't. Instead, I take the final step down onto the floor of the amphitheater, just behind Cassius, moving towards Cato. But the white wolf continues to celebrate his pretend victory, and he turns with raised paws to face me. I see the sudden recognition on his face. I run out of options to jam the nervo right into his chest. Instantly, Cass is shot backwards several feet to crumble next to Amicus, shivering and convulsing. Before I can even turn to Cato, though, the old wolf is on me, grabbing the nerve out of my hands and pulling me close by the front of my robes, my teeth clacking together with how fast he does it. He's looking at the nervo rather than me, though. Oh god. Damn it! Thank the gods the idiot didn't have it set on lethal. Cato fiddles with the device and I realize he's using it on me. This has really been running really crap. Even though he's got his face set into a stern glare, he's as calm as he always is. Cato, what a pleasant surprise to hear your voice. May I ask why you want entry into my quarters? The Emperor's orders, you dog. Calm, override door security. Overriding security. There's a click and a hiss from the door, and suddenly it slides open. Quickly, Neferu backs into me, much like Amicus did earlier this morning, and I find myself pressed back into one of the pillars, the jackal's body almost entirely covering me up. Although I know Amicus is a good deal bigger than Neferu, I'm still struck by the jackal's size now that he's so close to me. Step aside, Neferu, or risk being shot. Don't shoot the jackal! Neferu, what are you doing with it? Cato is breathing heavily, and it sounds like he's moving around. Can't see a damn thing! Have you called a ship? Yes, your Imperial Majesty. There's more muffled moving around, and I wonder what Cato's speaking into. Maybe a drone? Neferu, I asked you a question! Simply protecting a fellow Chemian. There's a moment of silence. A what? Chemian. Neferu enunciates very slowly, and I look up at the back of his head, just as confused as Cato. Don't press so damn hard, cat! What do you mean, Neferu? Cato's voice takes on a more growly tone as he turns his attention from whatever he was doing back on us. I mean that the child has been granted citizenship in the Chemian kingdom, and it would be unwise to attack him. Neferu's voice takes on an almost smug tone. An attack on him would be an attack on us all. Surely you understand this, Emperor. You lie. Would you like to test that? There's a long pause. In the meantime, a low rumbling sound grows, audible not only through the intercom, but through the floor of the palace as well. The ship is arriving, Your Imperial Majesty. Yes, I can see that, cat, Neferu. Another long pause. We will discuss this further once I'm back in the palace. I don't know what you and Amicus have planned, but know that I'll be keeping a very close eye on you. That creature is not to leave the palace. The wolf suddenly grunts, and I can hear the voices of other wolves as well. I'm fine, just get me to the hospital. There are more sounds of movement, grunting, cursing, and voices of concerns before the wolf speaks to us again. And remember, you have no way off this planet at the moment. It would be wise to do as I say. Of course, Your Majesty. Cato grunts. Calm, cancel last directive. Execute Mark if he tries to leave the palace. Yes, Cato. The connection suddenly cuts off, and the two of us are left to stand in silence. Finally, Neferu lets out a long, soft sigh. Damn. The jackal finally takes a few steps forward before turning to face me. Well, the situation is less than ideal. I received news that you somehow rose from the dead last night, and now this. Come, send us a physician. Even though I'm caught my breath at this point, I realize I'm sweaty and covered in scratches. Cannot comply with directive. Felix is currently in the dungeons. What? Why? Under the orders of the Emperor, Neferu. Damn. This time the jackal says out of amazement rather than annoyance. Well, send bandages and a salve at least. Yes, Neferu. Mark, what happened? Where's Amicus? After a few more deep breaths, I begin to go over everything that just happened, starting at the point where we were woken up by Cato, and ending where I attacked Cassius and made a run for Neferu's room. I try to keep things vague, like Cato just decided Amicus was unfit for the job and wanted to illegitimately put Cassius on the throne, but of course Neferu immediately realizes that I'm leaving. Then why does he want you executed? It seems odd he'd suddenly decide to do all of this now. I hesitate, and it's at this moment that the door slides open, causing me to jump and cower as a drone enters. Steady, Mark, it's just the medical supplies I requested. Have a seat on the bed. There are two beds, and the jackal gestures at the smaller one. Dumbly, I point this out to him. Why do you have two beds? As I sit, Neferu sets the supplies all laid out on a metal tray to the side, uncorking a bottle and dripping a brush into it. He then starts to apply dark orange liquid to the cuts on my arm. Well, one for the Emperor, and interestingly enough, this one for the Emperor's pet. Lift your arm. I do as he says, still feeling numb as he starts to coat a rather deep cut on the underside of my arm. Can we go find Amicus? Where is Amicus, Calm? That information is confidential and only accessible by the Emperor, Neferu. I see the jackal's eyes narrow as my stomach twists. What does that mean? Could mean any number of things. I clutch my hands together, feeling my anxiety grow. But is he alright? What if Cato did something to him? Neferu rests a paw on my shoulder. I understand your worry for Amicus' safety, but also understand that Cato did not even think of taking Amicus' life. Your wolf is likely in prison somewhere after what he did. That doesn't make me feel all that much better, but I manage to hold still as the jackal continues to treat me. After a period of silence, though, Neferu sighs. So, at this point, it seems we're in a rather precarious situation. I promised Amicus that if something happened to him, I would do everything in my power to keep you safe. Neferu pauses and only continues when I look up to meet his eyes. It would seem that what he worried about has come to pass, and now I must carry out that promise, but to do that, I need you to be honest with me so that I may know exactly what we are dealing with. Sorry about that. I gaze at Neferu for a while, wondering how much is at stake right now. The events of the past hour left me emotionally drained, numb aside from the twisting anxiety of wondering what's happening to Amicus right now. I feel myself deflate. Amicus made first contact with me. Cato found out. I wait for a moment, wondering if the jackal was just going to hang out in the hall after learning such a terrible secret. But when Neferu doesn't say anything, I look up. I guess I expected to see a look of shock or even horror on the jackal's face, but it mostly just looks annoyed. You know, I had suspected such a thing considering all of the odd quirks you possess, but I had also thought that even Amicus would not be so foolish enough to do it. I felt myself grow a little defensive. Hey, he didn't know. We'd been contacted by the wolves before, but we lost the history of it somehow. Even so, he should have taken more care. That's in the past now, however. We must focus on the present. Aren't you worried about getting into trouble? Me? Why would I be worried? Isn't unauthorized first contact, like, really, really bad? Well, yes, but I'm not the one that committed the crime. The burden rests on Amicus and on the wolves. I'm merely here to help a sapient that I did not know was an uncontacted alien. Neferu stopped the bandages around the deepest cut on my arm. And how did I become a citizen? I authorized it at the embassy shortly after the deal I made with Amicus. You were never officially his pet, thus never a member of the Empire. We thought it best to simply grant you citizenship in the meantime. You can just do that? Well, yes, I'm the son of the Pharaoh. Don't I have to sign something or something? It has been taken care of. How? Again, son of the Pharaoh. I sat in silence for a while, trying to comprehend all of this while still worrying about Amicus. Can we find out where Amicus is? We will shortly. How? Even if it was supposedly a secret, word spreads fast in these halls. Why are you... Why are you helping me? This is all so... crazy. I've told you before, Mark, it is the duty of a Chemian to help a sapient in distress. I stare at the jackal. Uh-huh, and why else? Neferu smiles gently at me. Despite our past interactions, I consider Amicus a friend. You are important to him, and I see it as my duty to keep you safe. And would it be strange that I consider you a friend as well? Yes, friend, we don't know you. Neferu, you've been trying to flirt with us the whole game. Friend. Does this have to do with the alliance? Neferu continues to smile. I suppose there are a few other reasons. Those reasons are pretty easy to figure out. Keeping me protected will keep Amicus happy, and Amicus knowing that Neferu did that will make the alliance more likely, assuming we get out of this mess. Obviously, Neferu won't say, but knowing this is most likely the main reason actually makes me feel a little better. I don't have to worry that the jackal has some other nefarious plan in store for me. Virginia requests access to your quarters, Neferu. Ah, and here might be the answer to your earlier question. Granted, Calm. The door slides open, revealing Virginia. She doesn't look happy. Immediately, she stalks into the room, eyes on me glaring. I wonder what exactly it is she's waiting for. Then the door slides shut. What in the name of the Romanus have you done, alien? Neferu chuckles. Easy, Virginia. He's been through quite a lot in the past hour. Easy! Cassius and Cato are in the hospital. Amicus is in the dungeons. Cassius is to become emperor. Our plans are in ruins, Neferu. The wolf folds her arms and walks slowly so she can better look at me. What happened? My first instinct is to stay quiet, cross my eyes in that dull, vacant stare and pretend not to understand. But then I realized I don't have to anymore. I've come to this realization after the second trial, but now that everything has fallen apart, now that I actually have some protection, I find myself bristling at the she-wolf's accusing stare. Cato's a complete monster. He staged the third trial so that Amicus would lose. I used the nerve on Cassius and should have done the same to Cato. Then Amicus ripped his visor off. This is the worst. This is the worst. Again, people, I'm so sorry about YouTube. This is the worst YouTube's ever been. Like, I'm really, literally hating YouTube right now, even though I'm trying to get more involved with it. I'm hating YouTube right now. Virginia gives me a look of surprise, probably not expecting me to be so honest, or maybe she's just shocked at how brutal things got. She then looks at Neferu, who nods in response. But why? That's when I hesitate again, but again, I feel like it doesn't matter much anymore. Amicus made first contact with my species. What? Things are getting real serious though. Let me tell you. Things are getting real serious with this game right now. Now, the jackal moves to the door himself, calling over his shoulder. Unfortunately, I must also take my leave. I'm going to gather a bit of information from the city. I'll be back towards the end of the day. Again, try to stay inside this room. It's locked to everyone but the Emperor. With that, the jackal leaves the room as well, leaving me alone in the room. I lay back, wondering how things went so wrong, so fast. I don't like any of this, and just like my first day on this moon, I feel out of place and completely element. I just wish Amicus were here. I roll over, hugging the pillows. I try to fall asleep. I think we are gonna stop there. I think that is a good point to stop. Oh my goodness. Things are getting really serious. So, Amicus is in the wow. Amicus is in the dungeon. I don't even know what to say. So, Amicus is in the dungeon. Sorry. Amicus is in the dungeon. Cassius is going to be pretty much a puppet leader. Cato was evil as hell. I knew he was kind of rough, but I didn't know he was evil like that. So, things are getting really interesting, and I'm very curious to see where things are going to go. But I think this is a good point to stop. Again, I'm really sorry about the quality of the video. I will re-review it later. If it's really, really bad, I will redo the stream up to this point. The story got really good. Really, really good all of a sudden. I am really curious to see where they're going with this. But, I'm sorry, everyone, for the quality of the stream today. Like I said, I don't really know what else I can do to fix it. It's just a mess. I don't know what else I can do to fix it. But, with that being said, this has been another episode of Adastra. Can't wait to keep going with this series. Later this week, I am debating on what I want to play. We'll probably keep going with Familiar Travels. Familiar Travels we'll probably keep going with. What else? Definitely Familiar Travels we're going to keep going with. That's pre-recorded, so I don't have to worry about that. Like I said, send me more video game recommendations if you can. Visual novel recommendations. They can be games that I can buy. They don't have to be furry. They can be human ones. I've said that before. I'll say it again. If you know any, like I said, send me any recommendations. I'll try to play it on the channel. I don't mind playing that stuff. But things are getting real good. Oh, we also had a romantic scene with Amicus. Finally, we finally had one. It was so sweet. But things are getting interesting. I mean, there's a lot of potential with this world. We still don't know why the parents brought us back. So we were technically near death. They brought us back from near death for some reason. Apparently, we're gonna play an important part and stuff. Cassius is the emperor now. Cato was pretty much the emperor. Cassius is more of a puppet leader. Amicus is in jail. Virginia is pretty much just worried about getting power, and Neferu is worried about an alliance. But Neferu's the only one that's really helping us right now. So, and Cato is gonna probably try to kill us off. So, Well, with everything being said, I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. I had a lot of fun with this stream. I hope everybody